Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It is the fan reaction show as Liverpool win another game of football. 3-0 beating Crystal Palace thanks to goals from Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah and an absolute rocket from Naby Keita. I'm going to some of your comments which are picked out on Twitter and also the ones that are in the chats right now. Massive welcome to Liam Heen. Hope I pronounced that right. It's just welcome as a wonder kid. Thank you very much for your support. Rob Davis, first off, saying great result, Reds, and the City Shakers dropping points. What a great day. You'll never walk alone. Hope Thiago is okay. Yes, first of all, it is a great result. Another clean sheet for Liverpool. Another tough test, to be fair. We spoke very much before the game about Crystal Palace, the way that they'd set up under Patrick Vieira. They're a different side now. They had lots of changes in the summer, not just with the manager, but with a lot of the players as well, who were, to be fair, a pretty aging squad. But I think you can see the energy and the pressing and the mentality that this side have. I mentioned before they were very impressive against Spurs last week. I think it was maybe the week before. I can't remember time. Who knows? But Liverpool dug deep. Crystal Palace had the chances, and Liverpool come away with a 3-0 victory. And as the point from Rob Davies says there, City dropping points. I think it's a bit early days for that, but also it's obviously quite nice when you win your games of football and title rivals drop them as well. And hope Thiago is okay, of course. Probably the only negative from that game, I suppose I'd say. Besides Diogo Jota missing that absolute sitter, but we don't like it when people get injured. Obviously, had a little clash with Zaha down that right channel. And it was over on the right hand side, so hopefully it's just a muscle thing. But if you hear anything else on this show, the next show, or the instant match reaction, I'll give you all a little update, because I'm sure Klopp will be asked about it after the game. Just a couple of people just saying you'll never walk alone. Thank you very much to Dicky Oyred and Michelle Reisbeck. Brian Glow saying Konate grew into the game and did very well on his debut. Yeah, I think I'd like to agree with that. I think we saw the amount of changes that Liverpool made, and of course it was actually four in the back line there with Konate and Van Dijk coming in. Obviously, Van Dijk didn't play against AC Milan, but obviously then he's then got to contend with another left back and a new right back. And I thought Konate was very good. You have to remember his age. It was his first Premier League debut for Liverpool as well. So, there's one or two moments where I think communication could have been a little bit better, but there were times where he was more than confident in himself to usher Benteke, who's a powerful lad as well. We know from his time at Liverpool and for the times that we've played Crystal Palace, and his record is fairly decent. But he's got the confidence and the strength to usher him out of play and obviously concede a corner, but he backs himself in that sense as well. There was another one earlier on in the second half, I think, as well, with Will Zaha. So, he had two different types of tests up, with Crystal Palace, and for me, he passed them all. So for him to get that first game under his belt, a clean sheet, I don't think you can really have any complaints about Konate. And, once again, Liverpool have some decent options. Great to see. Nigel Jones said, great to see Naby score. Jesus Christ, what a goal. And I love the fact that he just went for a full Eric Cantona, like proper, and what? I just scored an absolute peach. Great finish from Naby Keita. I'm absolutely made up for him. Brian Warrington, fantastic performances by Millie tonight. Yeah, I've actually picked out Milner as one of my shouts for man of the match. There was a lot of talk before the game. Him versus Zaha. Will he get the right support? Will he bomb forward? I thought it was exceptional. He was heavily involved in, at both ends of the pitch for that game. Obviously, Zaha might have gone past him one or two times, but even his recovery, deep into that second half, Zaha did get the better of him, and he sticks his right boot out to win the ball back. He obviously tried to get Gallagher booked at some point by actually booting the ball at him, but I thoroughly enjoyed James Milner's performance today, so fair play to him. And for all the chat about James Milner, yellow card bingo, it never happened in the end, so fair play to him. I'm just going to throw to some tweets from Twitter, obviously, and then I'll come back to some of the ones in the YouTube chat. Dean Murray 6 says, wow, what a goal from Keita. His reaction was gas. Crystal Palace played really, really well and made it a difficult afternoon. So 3-0 victory is an amazing result. Another 3 points on the board up the Reds. You'll never walk alone. And yeah, I suppose that's the key point there. A 3-0 win, a clean sheet. Liverpool rotated players, which is what we did on Wednesday. We did it again today. So, this isn't, I don't mean this in a told you so or an arrogant way of Liverpool have squad depth, and I still have concerns with a lot of people about Liverpool's squad depth, but I think we all think they're all going to come in at the same time, and they won't. Klopp's just shown over 2 games against 2 decent oppositions that we can rotate the squad and we can perform to a very good standard still, and still play the same way. More importantly, I think that was one of the takes from pre-season. So, James Milner comes in at right back against Wilfred Zaha. Not getting many tougher opponents than that in the Premier League. And to fill in for Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's been bang on form as well. I know he's ill, but obviously he's got a bit of rest. Andy Robertson's got a bit of rest as well. Joel Matip's had some rest. So it's all positives for Liverpool at this point as well, besides the Thiago Alcantara stuff there as well. Cyberspace says Jota's worst game in a Liverpool shirt. Konate showed some great signs. Milner was superb. And was an absolute animal. Keita goal was amazing. Mane and Salah both superb. We touched on Konate already and James Milner, but Jota, I'm not sure when he's going to fall foul of that absolute sitter that he missed, and I think he's very fortunate, much like we've had with previous players of the past couple of weeks. I'm probably looking at Sadio Mane against Leeds and maybe AC Milan. And Liverpool continue to create lots of chances. I mean, a lot of chances in games of football, and I don't think it does our anxiety levels any good when we don't take them. Jota's chance to score there, he has to score for me. I think we can be critical of him for that. Besides that, I think his defensive work rate was superb. He'd been busy in and around that left hand side looking to play people in. I think I agree with the comment. I don't think he was his worst game. Just don't think he was very good. I don't think he was heavily involved as Sadio Mane or Mohamed Salah in that sense, who I thought were both superb as well, not just for the goals, but for what they did as well. Mohamed Salah particularly, I think, we talked about James Milner against Will Zaha. Salah was there to support him time and time again, and again he took his goal really well. And could arguably, we're going to be critical of Mohamed Salah in any way or form, which he really shouldn't be. Could have another goal, and he didn't get one. Daniel Gore at Coptimus Prime, great Twitter handle there, says hard fought but satisfying win. Salah though, if you don't think Mohamed Salah is in the top 3-4 right players in the world, then I can't abide your level of disrespect. I think we could be witnessing the beginning of his greatest, most complete season, injury permitting. His form so far has been absolutely exceptional, the way that he's playing. I think we're starting to see a difference since pre-season, actually, of Liverpool playing slightly different, of course, to what we did last season. But I've said this time and time again, and I apologise if I'm repeating myself for a few people, but one of my biggest takes from pre-season was the fact that we're seeing Harvey Elliott at the time was in that advanced role, and he was inside channels round the outside for Mohamed Salah. There was times last season where we couldn't do that because we didn't have the midfield and the platform to go forward and commit more bodies forward. But also that hindered Salah's game because, as we saw in times during Crystal Palace, he has two people in front of him. To Zaha, credit to him as well. Defensive work, getting back, trying to cut out and stop Mohamed Salah from what he was doing. But we had Jordan Henderson inside channel overlapping several times. Again, James Milner doing that as well. So we're helping Mohamed Salah to be able to play the way that he wants to play, to give him time, to give him space, to let him cut inside, to provide assists and even get goals as well. I thought he was exceptional from set pieces as well, Mohamed Salah. I think the first one comes from him. The ball's whipped in. He's free inside the box. He nods it down. Unlucky not to get a goal, but it's pushed away to Sadio Mane, and then equally for his goal, another set piece, and he's there, he's free on the volley, just absolutely lashes it in. He's I think you're right, this could be one of his best seasons for Liverpool. Obviously it's going to be hard to top the first one that he had, but if he wants to go and do that, then that's completely fine with me. And Henry York finally on Twitter saying tough, but we showed just how good this team is. Konate played well. Kostas is the best backup left back in the world. Gets a little lazy with challenges at times, which can cause problems. Fabinho is the best defensive mid in the world. Worried that Thiago will be gone for 6 weeks, and just finishes off by saying nabby lad. Again, something I mentioned before, the standard of trying to be a backup for this Liverpool side has changed dramatically over the past 4 or 5 years because, again, someone mentioned before, James Milner's trying to fill in for Trent. Kostas is trying to fill in for one of the best left-backs in world football, if not the Premier League. And Andrew Robertson, the standard is exceptionally high. So when we see someone come in for them, the bar is set and he has to match that, if not better it. I agree with the comment. There was 1 or 2 sloppy free kicks given away by Kostas. Equally, Thiago did it as well, as did some other players. But I think his persistence, the way that he's changed our minds, his perception of him from what last season was, that he hardly played. I think he's doing an exceptional job for Liverpool, and that's exactly what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to come in, give Robertson a rest, and maintain that high standard. Again, attacking and defensive displays were pretty decent from Kostas Tsimikas. Dangerous balls whipped in from the left. Good link-up play with Sadio Mane. And again, I agree, maybe just sloppy sometimes and maybe in concentration or trying to keep up with the pace. But I'd also say that Crystal Palace were great down either channel, just consistently maintaining attacks to try and cause Liverpool some problems. Right, let's get back onto the comments from YouTube. Thank you very much for everyone getting involved. Dickie Redson impressed with Canate, looked pretty comfortable and not fazed by challenges, as we've already touched on. Brian Glow said, thought Thiago did very well today. Hope his injury isn't too serious. Yeah, I think that's the only negative that we can kind of come away with that. Sabin says, Naby primes Zidane. Keita, yeah, 100%. John Harrison with a couple of comments here saying, Milner, man of the match all day. Yeah, it was the one I picked. Ali's so good, it's a joke, makes everything he does seem so simple. His reading of the game, just wow. Jota was poor, but we won 3-0, and there will be games like this. And M. Brown saying, bang on there, Ross, the overlap and underlap has been developed this season, and it's great to see. Yeah, I was just on Alisson Becker before I go and do the play ratings. Again, Crystal Palace had their chances, they did cause issues, and as the comment says there, that will happen this season. We can probably count ourselves very fortunate that they didn't score those goals, particularly that one in the first half. Maybe the comment is referring to is Zaha's touch is a bit better in that instance. It's a goal, but also Alisson Becker gets back, claws it away, and keeps his clean sheet. Benteke had the chance, I think he hits the post. And those times where he's just coming off his line, I think there was a miscommunication slightly between him and Van Dijk at one point, but he's brave, he puts his body on the line. There's another one with Fabinho, and another one with Canate as well. So he just throws himself at things, keeps his clean sheet, and that's why he's the best goalkeeper in the world for me, by a mile. And thank you very much to Decorators Forum UK. So couldn't watch the game, but I'm absolutely buzzing after listening to the coverage on Redmen TV. Thank you so much for everyone who watched the watch along and has been involved in these comments and watching the streams. We have thoroughly enjoyed it. Me and Errol seem to be a good luck charm at this point, and Liverpool doing exceptionally well. We conceded 1 goal in the league so far, despite having made several changes again for this game and using our squad. Who'd have thought it? Yeah, Liverpool 3, Crystal Palace 0. Please join me in a second and we'll do the play ratings. Going to be taking your comments and your thoughts on those as well, and then me and Errol will be back with an instant match reaction. And on Monday, Paul, Chris and Errol, I think it is, will be here for a final word. So we're going to do an hour in depth on the whole game, so you can do that by joining up to the redmentv.com. It's one thing I want to advertise before I go as well. Tom is going to play a little clip, but Paul and Chris excuse me, I will stop for a breath. We'll be in Vancouver in November for a little event that's being put on. There'll be them, Bruce Grobbelaar, Phil Thompson, a host of other people, some live music, obviously live chat from Paul and Chris. Basically, it's a big party in Vancouver, and I'm not going. And not only am I not going, I've got to sit here and promote it and tell all you guys to go and to go and have a fantastic time. So here's a little clip from that, and I'll be back very shortly for the play ratings. Please do join me for that. Thank you.
In November this year, Cop Connect will present Cop Canada.
A 3-day fan event for Reds all over the world.
With former Liverpool players and live music in the world-class city of Vancouver.
So, if your heart's as big as Liverpool,
we'll see you there. Cop Canada is on the 5th to the 7th of November. Tickets are on sale now. copconnect.com. You'll never walk alone.